Surrounded on all sides by tall forested hills and a wall of snow-capped peaks of the Himalayas to the north, the locus-trine Kathmandu Valley stands witness to a great geological wonder and a unique magical cultural phenomenon developed by its local indigenous people who were deeply inspired by nature and their own innovative way of life. For centuries, this historical capital city of Nepal has continued to thrive with its finest arts, crafts, cultural and religious ceremonies, dance and drama forms, including highly developed agricultural practices. And every year, all these elements are expressed in their one consolidated form as they come alive in every home, street, temple and courtyard, synchronized to the seasonal changes in grand festivities called the Jatra. This film will guide you through some of the important Jatras that take place in the Kathmandu Valley. Kathmandu Valley is the original home to the Newars, who have lived here since time immemorial. And in the living, they cultivated the fertile land, worshipped the hills, trees and river, and welcomed a cosmic pantheon of gods and goddesses with their imagination and devotion in the numerous temples and courtyards. Among countless number of cultural wealth they gathered, Jatra, the big festivities, is one such display of the rich Newari living heritage. Myths speak of the valley as once being a vast sacred lake that was drained out by the Bodhisattva Manjushri, who cut a gorge at the southern rim of the valley in Chovar. Manjushri is a deity from the Mahayana Buddhist pantheon who cuts out the ignorance of mind with his fiery sword and gives the teaching of Pragya Paramita in order to assist every being to attain enlightenment. Kathmandu Valley was known as the Nepal Kingdom until the 1950s. It is believed that the valley's civilization began in 724 AD. However, it was the Malla dynasty from 14th to the 17th century that all the Jatra traditions were created. Some of the Malla kings even performed on public stages. Bhaktapur, the pagoda city, to the east of the valley derives its name from its older name, Dharampatan, meaning the city of faith, and stands true even at present times. It was the first major kingdom of the valley and preserves some of the oldest temple and cultural happenings. Some of the most elaborate jatras take place in Bhaktapur. To the south, the city of Patan preserves the ancient Buddhist chaityas and viharas, and the people participate in a unique form of Vajrayana Buddhist traditions. The city thrives with a 100-year-old lineage of traditional artisan families who still continue to produce the most genuine artworks. The present-day Kathmandu city derives its name from the Kashtamandap temple, said to be constructed from timber of a single tree. We begin our tour of the Jatras from this cultural hub with the Indra Jatra and the Kumari Rath Jatra. Indra Jatra is the main Jatra of Kathmandu. People from far and wide come to see this Jatra as it offers revelry and excitement that has never been lost. Dance and drama performances last for 7 continuous days around September. Once, a 25-feet-long pole hoisting a flag called the Indra Dhwaja served as a cosmic cord connecting heaven to earth is erected outside the Hanuman Dhoka. The festival is all set to begin. Down in the ancient alleyways, the masked dancer, Maijipa Lakhe, makes his round in every courtyard. He chases away bad omen and ushers in good luck. The Pulukisi is the white elephant, which is the vehicle of Indra, the god of heaven. powerful Bhairav and a pantheon of many other deities from different cities contribute to the rich, colorful happenings of Indra Jatra. Among the many Kumaris of the valley, the Kathmandu Kumari is called the Royal Kumari, the living virgin goddess. Every year, she makes a special tour of the city seated inside a golden chariot pulled by her devotees as a part of the Kumari Rath Jatra. Soon the winter sets in. The valley is covered by ground fog and it goes through a cycle of change of nature and culture in its own ways. Many big and small jatras and celebrations warm up the cold days. But with the arrival of spring, our journey leads us to Bhaktapur for the Biscuit Jatra. The chariot pulling ceremony of the Bhairav, the god of fertility, is the major attraction of this Jatra. People compete to pull the chariot to their side of the town. It is said the squeaking sound of the chariot wheel is heard as far as in the ancient spiritual city of Varanasi in India. few days later, outside the main city in the field of Lyasinkhel, the same crowd gathers to celebrate the Nepali New Year Day as they raise a 25-meter-long tree trunk called the biscuit. While the city of Bhaktapur resonates in New Year celebrations and revelry, Thimi and Bori, the ancient towns barely a few kilometers further west, are no exception when it comes to rejoicing the day. People from every toll mount their respective deities out on the Khat to converge at the Balkumari temple. And in the process, everyone is keen to sprinkle and throw the sindur or vermilion powder on each other. This colorful moment is also popularly termed by some as the Sindure Jatra of Thimi. Under the scorching sun, a special rite takes place in Bori. After fasting for 24 hours, the participating men have their tongue pierced with steel rod by the priest. For more than an hour, they take a round of the city with the belief that upon completing this rite, their soul will reach heaven after they die. The new year in the valley moves ahead with the people returning to their farmlands. They are known for their refined farming skills, using the most natural resources and recycling them. The Newar farmers are in fact the true organic farmers. One example of this link is traced in their passion in raising ducks. It holds a deep meaning of harmony and compassionate relationship with the scavenging animals who turn waste into wealth of nutrition for the earth, surrounding and eventually the culture and even gods. Once, when Kathmandu Valley suffered from a terrible drought, the farmers requested the Newar tantrics for assistance. So they invited the compassionate one, Machindranath, from the kingdom of Kamarup Kamaksha by the banks of the Brahmaputra river in Assam, India. He came and lived in the valley and brought rain, and every year he is worshipped for bestowing the rain blessing to the valley. The Jatra commences through the inner city areas of Patan, slowly and steadily, roughly between 45 and 90 days. Along the way, many hours, days, weeks, and even months are spent worshipping the two chariots of Meennath and Machindranath. one special day, women devotees participate in the chariot pulling. The Jatra ends at Locus-trine on a special day decided by the priests of the city in a ceremony called the Bhotu Jatra. The Patan Kumari makes her auspicious presence on this day. This mythical bhoto, or the black vest woven with golden threads, is said to belong to the Naga king, who later gave it to a farmer and later stolen by a demon. When a conflict arose between them of the vest's ownership, it was handed over to Machindranath for safekeeping. That is why the priests display the bhoto 3 times every year. So far, no one has come forward to claim it back since the mythical times. Soon the valley gets its first drizzle of the 2-month-long monsoon season in June and July. There is no time for rest and for any jatras either. The farmers commit themselves to the earth. Each raindrop is a cosmic blessing from the divine nature to life. And it is the farmers who best know how to harness that liquid gift into tangible reality. The plantation of the seeds and paddy. After the monsoon is over, the valley goes through a process of cleansing. This is where the big bad demon by the name of Ghantakarna appears every year. Ghantakarna, this lusty and fearsome character, does not hear the name of the god Vishnu because the sounds of the bells ringing around his ears are too loud. The children bring him out in his most naked form, even displaying his big phallus, and mock him with the tale of his terrible death, which is very funny indeed. God Vishnu appeared in front of the demon as a frog and mimicked his sexual act. The angry Ghantakarna chased him inside a well, but as soon as he was trapped, the people stoned him to his death. Here in Bhaktapur, this act of wiping away the evil is realized through an elaborate death ritual. As the monsoon clouds further fade out and retreats the rain in the month of August, it ushers in a very special and sacred time for the Newar Buddhists of Kathmandu Valley. For an entire period of 1 month, the Newar Buddhists follow strict fasting rules and avoid eating meat, fish and eggs altogether. To accumulate good merits, every morning the young and the old take out their own small family groups and head towards the Swambhunath temple, singing and chanting the sacred songs of Buddha's teachings. Far in the south end of the valley in Bungamati, a huge mural is displayed outside the temple of Karunamaya. This mural is the Poba painting, the ancient Tantric Vajrayana art of Kathmandu Valley that is said to have later influenced the Thangka art. The connectivity of life and death in the cultural universe of the Kathmandu Valley is expressed in various forms of colors, sound and happenings. Jatra takes its name as a festival of cows in the Kathmandu city. But in fact, this is the festival to remember those who would have passed away in the year. Outside the Hanumandhoka palace, young boys and men dressed as cow join a procession as a part of a tradition since the Malla period. In Bhaktapur, Gai Jatra is not just about expressing sadness of the loss of loved ones, but also a powerful traditional cultural expression that see the coming together of communities and marking a fresh beginning of the life ahead. The traditional Dhime drummers perform their best as the procession moves through the town carrying the pictures of their loved ones. The origin of Gai Jatra is related to the worshipping tradition of the god of death, Yamaraj. The practice of healing and spiritual cleansing remains at the very root of the Gai Jatra festival. In Patan, the honor to the deceased souls is expressed in a ritual called the Matya that has a strong Buddhist root. Mata is light and Ya means festival, and hence the term Matya can be derived as celebration of the wisdom and liberation, that is light. Scholars hint that it could also attribute to the Mara's submission at the mercy of the Siddhartha Gautam Buddha in order to ask for liberation from the dark karma of ignorance. Matya is not just about worshipping the light in its static form. The festival is, in fact, a sacred walk to 1400 Buddhist shrines that are housed inside the ancient city in different public and private courtyards. People make offering to the Buddha and ask for merits to liberate their deceased family members of the year from the negative karmic cycle. The people of the valley believe that if the god of wealth, strength and fertility, the Bhimsen, is made content and happy, he will bestow the devotees with the good fortune of wealth and growth for their hard work. The Newari traders and artisans revere Bhimsen for safeguarding the growth of fortunes and families. In a feat of revelry that knows no boundary, the statue of the Bhimsen is taken out from his temple at the Patan Darbar Square and taken on a tour of the city for him to be worshipped by men and women alike. Most of the time, the god will return to his residence only deep into the night. This is the uniqueness of Patan Bhimsen Jatra, as night remains forever young on this day as it has been for hundreds of years. The list of Jatras of the Kathmandu Valley is endless. In every corner of the towns and cities and the periphery villages, there are many Jatras taking place almost once every month. The Jatra is the heartbeat of the valley. Every pulse, every season reminds one of a deep link of reverence to nature and earth offered by the people here. After going through all these colorful, dynamic, living form of pure expression for both attaining joy, revelry, strength and hope to purifying oneself of fear, weakness and crisis, the Jatras are a living form of cultural healing practices that flood and break even the boundaries between the god and the people. Through Jatra, the people of Kathmandu Valley send out this message of unity of the earth, mind and imagination in the most real life as it can ever be. This is the power of the Jatras of Kathmandu Valley.